The U.S. is reportedly planning a diplomatic boycott of China's Winter Olympics. Congressman Michael Waltz, Republican from Florida, joins me now. Congressman, you say this is the bare minimum and that an economic boycott should be next. I want to just focus on the Olympics for a minute. Do you really want America to just not attend the Winter Olympics? You want to go that far?
I do want to go that far, Stu. I introduced the resolution in the House calling for a full boycott. Look, we have to understand dictators love the Olympics. And our preference was that the IOC, the International Olympic Committees, move the games. But since they've refused, despite repeated requests for years now, I think at this point we put a full boycott in place. And look, we did the same thing for apartheid in South Africa. Actually, the South African Olympic team was not allowed to compete anywhere in the world for 28 years because of the apartheid regime. And I would tell you the massive and grotesque human rights abuses that are going on are disgusting. COVID unleashed in the world, stamping out freedom on Hong Kong. How can we wave the American flag there? How can anyone go and essentially turn a blind eye to the abuses, not to mention COVID released on the world that Biden refuses to even ask about when he engages with Xi?
What kind of economic boycott are you talking about?
Well, you know, it's just, I'm tired of the hypocrisy, and I think so many Americans are too, with Coca-Cola, Nike, Airbnb, Procter & Gamble, all of the Olympic sponsors that want to preach social justice, that want to boycott baseball in Georgia. But then, you know, when it comes to padding their balance sheet to the tune of millions and billions, when modern day slavery is going on right now as we speak in China, then it's a completely different game. And we're going to continue to call these companies out again for their gross hypocrisy.
It wouldn't be a win-win totally, because China would push back vigorously on a boycott of the Olympics and any kind of economic boycott. And they could hurt us badly.
They've threatened to sanction any country that even considers it, but the British are considering it, the Canadians, the Australians, the Indians. You know, enough is enough of this brutal dictatorship. And by the way, Stu, Putin invaded Crimea just 2 months after the Sochi Olympics. We all know what Hitler did after the world celebrated in Germany in 1936. Dictators love the Olympics because it legitimizes their rule. The entire world turns their back. And in this case, China's going to take it a step further. We think they're going to roll out their digital yuan, their digital currency, mandate that everybody sign up for their apps. It'll be the most massive international data collection effort that the world has ever seen.
Well, you've got me there. I mean, we had this virtual link-up the other day between President Biden and Xi Jinping, and that was designed to lower the tension. I mean, just cool down everybody. You're really raising the tension dramatically.
Well, I would argue I'm not raising the tension. I mean, Xi has been raising the tension now for a decade. He's unleashed COVID on the world. He's stamping out freedom. It's the most grotesque genocide that the modern history has ever seen. He's openly telling his country to prepare for war. They will unify with Taiwan one way or another, and that they are talking about replacing the American dream with the China dream in the next decade. So I think at this point we have to respond with strength, not fecklessness. And the last thing we should be doing is giving them this propaganda platform so that NBC and Hollywood and everyone else can continue to kowtow to a global dictator that intends to replace the United States. And we have to wake up to what's at stake here.
I think you represent an emerging hard line on China, and I think your viewpoint is shared by many others. Congressman Waltz, thanks very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate hearing about it, and we'll bring back soon, and that's a promise. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.